Hey guys, so what I've decided to do is just to turn on the camera and to speak about whatever wants to come forward. There's this thought inside me that we are this, creative reservoir of wisdom that lies within each of us, and that we all have access to at any given moment. Um, it can feel hidden sometimes, or like we don't have access, but we do. And let me tell you, when you do find access, when you open the door to the reservoir and the water comes gushing out, it's a great feeling. I've experienced it a few times, a number of times. It's a very powerful feeling. Like there's just, thoughts and ideas and wisdom streaming out of you without you really having to do anything for it. It just comes, it just flows, it's natural, it's it's effortless. It's a very empowering feeling. And over time you learn how you can access the reservoir with greater ease. It's not that the reservoir is hidden, but it's that the mental moves, the physical moves that we make, the way that we think, or the actions that we take, move us away from the door of where the reservoir is located. So I'll give you an example, right? So what I often used to do in social situations is to um, be worried about what I would say to the other person and whether that comes across in the right way. That's one thing. A second thing would be that I would sometimes be afraid of the silence, you know, moments where you're not really saying anything to each other, and the silence always felt very loud and uncomfortable. And then what brought the comfort was to say something. So I would, ask a question, or I would say something, and it came from that the comfortability, to not feel the uncomfortability, but just to get away from that. And then speaking was something that, you know, helped me get away from the feeling. Maybe it's something that you to recognize, when you're speaking to people and it's silent, and you're sort of thinking about, it's okay, it's silent, and do I say something, and then you just decide to say something. And I find that that type of uh, behavior and thinking comes, from a fearful place, um, because you're worried about what you're going to say, or what the other person will think about that, and you're trying to get away from a feeling, which is also in essence fear, a feeling that feels uncomfortable. And the things that usually come out of my mouth, from those places were okay. But it felt like much more of an effort to think of things, to be creative, to 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 respond, to say things in an intelligent way. Not that, that's the goal, but like the difference, between flowing and being creative and thoughts, ideas coming forward naturally compared to, looking for the right thing, searching for it, wanting it to be there, but you know, um, not really being there. And it's frustrating. It's frustrating when you're looking for the right or intelligent things to say, but they don't come in the manner that you wish. And when you become more frustrated and block yourself off from creativity. However, there is a way to the reservoir, and because the actions I just described, they take you away from it. They they only give you drops. What brings you to the reservoir is slowing down, you know, in the way that I'm doing right now. So what I'm doing right now is I'm not even looking for, the right thing to say or mm, thinking about where I'm going to take this story. I'm just here. And what I find is that, thoughts are coming forward naturally with speed and flowing. They're just here. I don't have to look for it. They're just here. And so I speak them as they come. And what also helps to to get access to the reservoir and stay in the reservoir is to follow the thoughts that naturally come forward. Every often we'll have a thought, but then we'll put that to the side and try to focus on something else or try to think of a better way or a different way. And then maybe we're scared to say it in the way, that it comes forward in your brain. And so we're cutting our natural creativity off and start searching. And when you search, it means that you don't have it now. It implies that you don't have something now. And so you're reinforcing the idea that, you know, you don't have the creativity now. The reservoir is a place that, when you're there, feels quite calm and relaxing. And you're more in touch with also things that are asking to come through within you. So things that you should focus on, things that may be challenging for you, or just the right thing for that moment. So for example, now that I just turned on the camera and started speaking, the reason I'm making these videos is to to teach or to share to share ideas. And I find that, I can think of an idea beforehand or during even to explore, that I can think about lots of other things that are tied to that one thing and to explain it further and create this whole mental picture of what I am going to say. But I find it feels much nicer to just, turn the camera on and start speaking and to sort of arrive in this flow or undercurrent that I think is always there, but that you don't always, get access to because you're mm, thinking too much about what you should say or should do or uh, how it will be interpreted or making sure that you say the right thing. And it just cuts you off, from the creativity. And I was going to say one other thing, which I forgot just now, which is about, yeah, that things are trying to come through, things that should be said, things that, in that moment are, yeah, how do I describe it? Because the best explanation is just things that feel right for that moment. Perhaps, this is what I should be teaching about it in this very moment. And the next video that I'll make will be about something different, something else. But for now, in this now moment, perhaps this is asking to come through. And I think there are a lot of now moments that we will experience in the future, with ourselves or with other people, where, you know, uh, different things want to come through that are relevant, for that certain situation and are helpful for that situation. To give an example, maybe, you're having a discussion with a friend about um, a relationship issue that your friend is having. And maybe, there's wisdom waiting to come through to you, wisdom that, is the right type of wisdom for the situation, specifically the things that, would help your friend uh, in the most ideal scenario, the sort of uh, highest highest wisdom. How do I say it? Mm, your friend is coming perhaps for advice, and there's good advice and there's fantastic advice, and maybe the reservoir automatically brings you the fantastic advice that's specifically tailored to this situation, to this moment in time, to this particular consciousness of your friend, of you. And if you can access that, the friend benefits, because they receive, fantastic advice. But I, I know from my own experience, there's sometimes a friend asking you for advice, and you sort of, thinking all these things, and oh, well, this is a good thing, this is a good thing, and you're sort of thinking of how to assist, before you know it, you're out of the moment, and there's this list of things that have to be said, which may be good, may be relevant, but may not be the same quality as coming from that reservoir. And it's interesting because it also implies that we have to go and beyond our initial, you know, thinking mind, and to sort of allow yourself to move towards like a different place. And it's not like, like a physical place. It's like a mental and energetic place. It just feels different, like the way I'm speaking now, how just let the words come and go, and there's no stress. There's just peace. Like there's just allowing things to come, and it feels great. It feels, right. It feels loving. It feels aligned, and you get there, by uh, waiting, I would say, so not initially saying something, like even though you want to, and also to work with what comes up in your mind naturally, and then to just follow where those words take you. And so it's like you're stepping, and each step, the step that comes after it is still undefined. Like you can't really see it, but it's gonna come there the moment that you step on the next stone. The next step reveals itself, and then you're just walking step by step. And it's really being present in that way. And it's also about a slowing down, right? So what I find is that when I just start slowing down, it helps me to get like into that flow. All in all, it's a cool experience. I mean, it feels really fantastic now. It's also like a joy, like I discovered magic a little bit. It's the how to access, your potential. And now the trick is to also widen this to when you're with the different people. Like I quite recently discovered this, and I've been now sort of applying it to these videos, which is just, one-on-one, or it's going to get posted on YouTube, and perhaps many people see it, but it's still a one-on-one, and there's an additional element of just additional things that you have to take into account when there's like other people. But I'm very excited to try it out. Anyways, I think that's the story for today. Wish you all a great day. Ciao, ciao.